Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Your first choice, your global voice, Andrea Mason, your personal accountability coach under the mentorship of Dr. Les Brown and his alumna. Well, there is a lot of nature. I've got a woodpecker, I've got a bunch of squirrels, I've got a dove, I've got cardinals, I've got a plane, as we always see in all my videos surrounding me, so it is all good. This is what is in my element. This is what I love, being in nature. So, without further ado, let's get into a topic. All right. So, as all of you may have known or are going to be made aware, I do not watch TV. I do not listen to the radio. I do not engage in newspaper articles or, news radio of any of the sort. Most of my information that I get is provided by family and friends that I'm close with who feel that no fault of their own that I should be made aware of, which is fine. Then I choose, if it's something of my interest, to explore and take a deeper dive. However, I am engaged, as you know, in multiple and various private groups and public groups for bullying and abuse. And one of my missions is to be the face of change when it comes to fixing and educating and sharing personal stories of abuse and bullying. Why? Because I was a victim of both: physical, mental, spiritual, sexual, emotional, and academic, as well as my own mindset. And so I feel I am a living testimony that if I am able to share my stories, able to share tactics, as well as my message, that it's more clear and concrete looking at my life to help others as opposed to others who have went to study it or get their degrees in it. Now, I'm not saying or ridiculing them at all. As most of you know, there are certain areas of discussion and topics that can be researched and studied. Okay, statistics, facts, as well as results, trial and error, process of elimination, those can be found. The answers are concrete and legit. But when it comes to bullying and abuse, in my opinion, it's the stories of resilience. It's the stories of isolation, fear, neglect, abandonment. It's the stories of how tragedies became triumphs. And through life's trials and tribulation, triumphs are won. And that's what that's what I provide, and I want to take a deeper dive into it. I don't think people understand the nature of verbs, words, the context of their words, their meanings behind it, even in jest. I was raised from my parents that it's important you be careful and mindful of what you say. And there's a cardinal right overhead, a robin to my left, chipmunks to my right. I feel like I'm Snow White. But I feel it's so important that you understand the mindset of an individual who has gone through victimization, bullying, abuse. I realized that I was giving power and control onto others for my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And if they didn't align with those authorities or the masses, there's a woodpecker. If it didn't align with the masses, that I was outcasted, that I was the weird one, I was the strange one, I was the isolated one. So ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to talk to your families, your loved ones, especially our younger generations. I am seeing the dissatisfaction and the sadness and the disappointment of families and siblings and teachers of the support, the education and knowledge for victims of abuse and bullying, that they see the repercussions of what happens or doesn't happen to previous individuals, and then they just decide to either remove them from the school systems or the activities, or they face constant struggles with authority to get support. Now remember, I sat on both sides of the desk. I was bullied, I was abused, in all realms. And when I went to talk to somebody, they said that I was seeking attention. So then when I decided this was industries and getting my degrees in social work and psychology over 2 decades, that I was going to speak out. That we need to educate individuals, that if it's not nipped in the bud earlier on, you will live a life such as mine, which is constantly be a victim or have a victim mindset all throughout your life up into early adulthood. And because I wasn't aware of my own mindset, I wasn't aware of the trigger or the touch points of individuals' characters who bully and abuse, that it happened longer than it should. And it left scars, brands, bruises, no pun intended. So 3 key tips I want to give you and leave you with this. Thank you so much for staying this far with the nature sounds. This is not like a disc or a CD. These are actual animals up here in the forest. A red cardinal, a robin, a woodpecker, chipmunks, you name it. Eagles, hawks, and stuff. But these are the 3 key tips that I want to keep you in mind. Number 1. Be open-minded with your children at any age, whether they're, toddlers, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, even young adults. Have an open mind and listen to what they have to say. Number 2, sit down and figure out different strategies, different perspectives on what tactics, and formats that you can apply to either be heard, to be brave enough and bold enough to approach the abuser or predator, and how it feels to you. And finally, number 3, have a means of communication to really go through the emotions. Don't suppress them. Don't ignore them. Address them and then review and learn how to process. For further content and information about that, I do have some private groups. I will put the links down below of the groups that I facilitate, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And if you or a family member or someone you know going through some sort of abuse, childhood, corporate, familial, personal relationship, or within your own mindset, connect with me at andreamasons.com. Check out all the different services I provide, and let's set up a meet and greet and a complimentary consultation and get you to the next level. Life is a game. It's crazy, unexpected, and uncertain. But you have the right and the choice every single day to choose to press play. Plan life according to you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the other side. Remember to follow your heart, not the herd or the hurt, for success and happiness and abundance are on the other side. I'll see you soon.